Let's read the question. N, it seems it's an integer, and the n is starting with 4. Is there any specific reason for it to start with a 4? Okay, I have to read the question in order to find out. What they are asking us to find? Probability. Probability of what? Probability that n is the largest of the 4 numbers drawn. It seems n has to be the biggest of the 4 numbers drawn in any one game. Okay, let me take the basic 4 numbers here. Okay, if I follow the order, this is what I will get. 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? In this number, what is the biggest? 4. See, in the basic set of 4 numbers drawn, the biggest value is actually 4. That is the reason why this one is actually starting with the 4. There is no way one can be the largest in the 4 numbers drawn. Let's say my largest number is 14. What could actually possibly give me the largest 14? Okay, let's just do a selection. Maybe I'm starting with a 9 and then I'm taking an 11 and then I'm taking a 5 and then let's say I go for the 14. So in this case 14 is the largest number. So now let me write probability for the case of 14 here. 14 is my largest number. I need to find probability. The question clearly says find for me the probability where 14 is the largest number. Are we not focusing on the n? What is my n here? My n here is 14. So now 14 is the largest of the 4 numbers. I just have to find the probability of getting the 14. It's just that I have to make sure 14 is the largest. Okay, now let's say I'm starting with this n value of mine. In this particular 4 number here, there can only be one n, right? Right? So that is my 14. What is the probability of selecting this particular 14 here? So if I write, then I can write 1 over 20. Because it's out of this pool here, there is only 114. Okay, out of this 20 I've already taken 1. Now what do you think I will write for the other 3 here? It is exactly like the earlier scenario where what I told you, if this is already 14, how many more balanced number that I have in this pool now? How many more balanced number? Okay, 19. So you have no issue. You will write 19 here. Right? And then this is going to be 18 and this is going to be 17. You are very good in this. But now the restriction is this is the largest. If this is the largest, can I select 15? Can I select 16? Cannot, and this also cannot. So out of this remaining 19 number here, I can only take this one, any one out of 1 until 13, because 14 is the largest number. This is the light bulb moment. If you realize that I can only take 1 until 13, then you know 14 is being the largest number. So what you will write here? You will actually write 13 here, and then remaining any one out of the 12 and any one out of the remaining 11. And then what is one last thing you have to do? Will the 14 could only be drawn in the 4th place? No, it could be like 14 and any other number. It could be like any other number, 14, I mean a dash like that. And then here I could have a 14 in the 3rd draw. And then the last scenario is me getting 14 in the 4th attempt. So what you will do, you will multiply this with 4. Exactly same like the part 1. Now what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to try to do for another number. Let's say 19 is the largest I'm selecting. If this is 19, then this number, let's say I'm selecting a 1, maybe a 3, and then I'm selecting a 15. So isn't 19 the largest? Okay, so this is treated as my n. Okay, let's write probability for this now. Let's see how I can change this. N, 19 is the only 19 in the pool of this 20 plate here. 20 number here. So I am happily going to write here 1 out of 20. Done. Okay. Now, what can I write for the other 3? I have already thrown away my 19 here. Let me use other color because you couldn't get confused. Let's say I have thrown away this 19 here. How many more remaining number I have? If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, if you count, you know that inside this whole pool, there is 19 more numbers left. But your options are only from 1 until 18. Yes, one number lesser than the 19 that you have selected. One number lesser than the largest number you have selected. So what you will write here? Now it's going to be 18 out of 19. 17 out of 18. And then you're going to write 16 out of 17. And obviously the position of the 19 is not only in the first place, it could be anywhere. So you have 4 cases like that. So this is how you're going to write it. Okay. You were so good when I was using numbers like that, right? When I used 14 and 19, it was easy to say, easy to see. But now let's replace this with the real n. How will student actually do this? They won't be doing this. I'm just doing a case study for you. If n is the largest number, okay, what you will write? Okay, this is my n. I don't know what is happening to this. Okay, what is the probability of selecting one largest number out of the 4? This one fixed 1 out of 20. You are very good. You already know how to get this, right? Okay, now let's think. Look at all the answers that I'm writing here. Do you think it's changing? No, right? So happily you can write here 19, 18 and 17. Now let's study the number here. The number here, this number and this number. What is the relationship? It's 1 lesser, right? 1 lesser. See, exactly same like what I did here. Just now when I selected the 19, I asked you, how many more options do you have to select from? And you were very confident in saying it's 1 until 18. It's always 1 lesser than the largest number you are selecting. So practically this is going to be n minus 1. Here going to be n minus 2. And here going to be n minus 3. And last but not least, the n won't only appear in the first place, it can be anywhere. So you need to multiply by 4. So this is the final part. You expand this and you compare with this part and you can get your A, B,